Let's do it. All right. Ketamine, infusion therapy. What is it? What happened? Well, a lot happened. That's why I'm going to do it. So, where do I start? Ketamine infusion is a new type of therapy or treatment that is showing really good results in the scientific community right now, or for the psych community, because there is no other medication that really works as fast as like this does. And even the medications that we do have right now aren't really guaranteed to work. It's just like, let's check back with you in 4 to 6 weeks. You might be suicidal then. I don't know. Let's see. And yes, so it's not good. Like you definitely wouldn't look at a mental health medication that we have right now and feel comfortable, if your mom or whatever loved one it was a life and death matter. It just wouldn't bring you that type of comfort, not like it brings you whenever you're talking about something like insulin or blood pressure medication, diabetes, stuff like that. So it's nice. It's new. It's cool that good things are happening, that something promising is really the thing that's out new. I'm so nervous. Okay, so I have PTSD that is one of the patient populations that this is purported to be really good for. So it's good because of the default mode network basically being dysregulated. I think I can actually look it up because I was writing about it. Cool. I was all excited. I was like, it happened. The one thing I've been looking for my entire childhood finally happened. 4/6/2024 at 6 a.m. Everything just clicked. And I realized I've been using like the wrong mindset, the wrong framework of thinking to pursue the solutions that I'm looking for. It sucks. Where is it? I will find it. I will. I know that. Talking about how I was going to go to eternal damnation because of, religion. That was fun. Turns out that was the whole problem. Not really, but it was much of the problem. Congruent internal mechanisms. There we go. Neurochemical plasticity. We're getting closer. Beautiful. This is it? Okay. Here's some information about the purpose of these ketamine infusions and their subsequent integration calls. So ketamine is not a magic drug. The psychedelic aspect of it naturally comes with some healthy information, like having the psychedelic experience may provide you with beneficial response. Like you may be one of those people who actually has a psychedelic experience, like you see, feel things that you normally wouldn't. And there's some people that just don't feel anything. It just varies for each person, but that experience right there is not what brings you the therapy. It's what is happening with the medication in your brain. It's not how you perceive it. It's not any of that. It's what is actually happening by default because of the medication that it is and the response that our bodies normally make. So the psychedelic aspect of it naturally comes with some healthy information, maybe, because of the individual's perception. Additionally, there is a neurochemical foundation that, in essence, allows for thoughts, memories, emotions, and behaviors to be more malleable temporarily after the infusions. What this combination of traits can be collectively called is the default mode network. So what am I referring to? This collection of thoughts, memories, emotions, and behaviors. Basically, what we know of to be our personality is like who we are. That is mostly due to the default mode network. So the default mode, I just said it, it's repeated way of thinking, feeling, and being that is how you define yourself and how other people define you too. What ketamine does, whether or not you are able to extract a meaningful lesson from the infusion's experience, is disrupt the default mode network in this temporary state of disruption, a process referred to as neuroplasticity. So that disruption, that ability for things that are ingrained into your habits, to start moving, to become more flexible, to be changed, to be removed, to be replaced. That is called neuroplasticity. It happens all the time. It happens every day. It's how we learn. It's the main way that we learn. So the patient is accessing, noticing, observing, or otherwise they see what has been covered up by more obvious and engaged in methods. So I guess I was just about to talk about that. So in instances of traumatized individuals, negative circumstances which the individual experienced as a profound heightening of emotions necessitated the development of a protective mechanism, protective coping mechanisms. So this development, while this mechanism served an important purpose, it persisted and developed and eventually overpowered what is more innate and natural to all of us. Ketamine, then, has been shown to be most effective in helping reduce the symptoms of those with PTSD due to the very nature of the mechanism that I just described. So what PTSD basically is there is you at the bottom and something really traumatic happens, so you immediately just like cover that up with some other coping mechanism that just stays there. And the more that you use that, the more you engage that, it just becomes more ingrained over time. And by the time that you're an adult, it's embedded, it's part of you. So ketamine's super, super helpful to remove those upper layers that I guess may or may not be in other people to the negative extent that it feels like it is in people with PTSD. Because a lot of the behaviors that they're engaging in, like for me personally, one of them was sleeping at night. I couldn't sleep for a long time. Any noise, anything would be an immediate call to action for me. So it still kind of is hard to sleep. I guess I have to take medication. It's been years that I've tried not to. So I don't know. But just, yeah, good things like that. What these integration calls are intended to do is tap into this temporary disruption, the neuroplasticity, of ingrained habits. Intentionally, actively looking in reveals more information and awareness than would otherwise occur. Also, because of its neurochemical plasticity, actions you engage in after the infusion for X amount of weeks or however much time carry more weight than they normally would. What I mean by that is, if you are looking to stop smoking cigarettes and you've tried your whole life, after the infusion of ketamine, I'm trying not to make it be like you should go take ketamine, because I'm not telling anybody to do that. You can do whatever you want, but so the period of time after your infusions would probably be the best, because that attempt to quit again might just be more impactful than any of the other times before, just because of what's happening in your brain and the status of where things are. So that's the only thing I meant by wait. Meaning you have to choose to think, behave, and engage in the world after these infusions in order to begin those very same habits to build. Want to start get better at a morning routine, this would be the time. Like, make yourself get up in the morning and try to engage in that behavior at the same time every day. That would probably be really helpful. No positive change or profound epiphany is going to happen unless you do the work. Otherwise, a radically passive approach, meaning that you just sit there and get the infusions, that's it. You don't go home and think about it. You don't go write. You don't do anything. Like, you just sit there and get infused. That would only come with a bit of a benefit. It wouldn't change your life for sure. So these conversations that I had with my integration coach, it says, are not intended to be psychotherapy, in which you go discuss a struggle, explore the solutions, and continue in the direction of whatever purpose or goal that you established. With these calls, sure, it's fair to explore issues and solutions, but you mostly want to pay attention to long-term behaviors, ask questions regarding their continued use, and explore many topics that come up that may need to be explored. Yeah. So this would be a good time, and that's exactly what I was doing. I had spent maybe 6 hours writing. Yeah, no, because I'd written all night. So I'd spent about 6 hours writing that night, and then I went into the kitchen. I was listening to an audiobook, Teal Swan, The Anatomy of Loneliness. Exceptional book. Everybody should go read it. And it just clicked. It was just like a clarity that came all at once. It's like realizing that you've been looking for your phone the whole time, but it's been right here. And then it's realizing that has been there. Like, that is what the awareness felt like. It was just like, oh, I have all the tools that I've been looking for to heal myself. I'm just not looking. I'm like literally standing at an angle. I can't even describe it. I'm trying to in this book, which is why it's taken me a little bit. This is what I mean. I added some other stuff too. That is the 8 neurotransmitter systems right there. I am doing my best to teach it to you, whether you want to learn it or not. Exposure to my being is what comes with whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. I will be back. And I guess I'm just going to begin reading, because why not?